Recording in progress.
It's long shit.
Peace, peace. How you feeling, Noble?
You know, it's day by day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me 1 second, man. I'll wait everybody
Yeah.
log on.
Okay.
Let's see what I got. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see.
So, this is running.
Where it go? Where it go? Gotta find my last document. Okay. Let's see.
Recording stopped.
All right, I think we're here. All right. All right, we got a couple minutes and we're gonna get started.
It's all good. Yeah. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I've been reading the Divine Creed the past couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
and man, that's a heavy document.
Yes, it is.
It's a heavy document. I was sharing with Malik that for me, as I continue to find ways to slow down,
Mm-hmm.
I find clarity, and as I keep going back over things that we've already covered, that provides a level of clarity.
Man, that's funny you said that, Barclay, because we're gonna in my main topic, we're gonna touch on that. Like, yeah, about how things supposed to slow down. So you that's what this all about, man. It's like when you start seeing things, things start slowing down. It's like you see the play before it happened. That's what this is all
Yeah.
about. Our eyes should be open. So you 100% correct with that, Noble. Figuring out ways to slow down. And when we say slow down, we're speeding up, but people think it's slowing down because you focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you get those binoculars, you got to tune in. It's like you're going slow, but you're tuning in. That's what we're doing. As we get like wine, we tuning in. That's all we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be getting better and better and slowing down because our eye is open. So gratitude for that piece of wisdom, Noble. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. What up with it, Huh?
Hey, Mom. Peace. How y'all doing?
I know, man. It's taking over. It's becoming a whole new look. I'm forgetting what I looked like before. I was like that. So it's a beautiful thing, man.
Absolutely.
I'm good. How you doing, brother Alonzo?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing great, man. By Allah's grace, I can't complain, man. Feeling healthy and feeling strong.
It was good to see you yesterday, man. I wanted to hop on today. Just wasn't able to get myself together. But it's just it's good to see you. I'm really looking forward to the meet and greet, and hopefully we all can be there. Just because I just want to give y'all a hug, man, straight up. Like I just want to,
It's long.
like
Same here.
You know what I mean?
Same here. I mean, y'all were there before. So for me, it'll be my first time. So it's actually very, very exciting and highly anticipated for myself because first time I get to see the brothers in the physical. So
Right.
I'm definitely excited. It's long.
I get to see your Empress too. You know what I mean? That was something we see there on the through the Zoom.
Oh, so
You
it's
know
an update. It's an update to that too. Now,
okay.
yeah. So because my Empress not coming now, because she just got a new employment with this company she's been trying to go after for a while, doing what she some type of work she's relaxing and doing. So when she came across this, it's actually last week. They called her up, and it's like a property management um, organization that she was trying to, send a resume in and get things done with. But they actually called her back, so her schedule now is not permitted for her to travel, unfortunately.
Islam.
And I was like, oh. But yeah, I had never know that, but I don't want to cut the time short.
No, you good with this class. This class, man. Ain't no time short, nothing. This.
But yeah, I was unfortunate that she couldn't make it though. But I understood that it was something that it was unfortunate. But
Oh, my eyes.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yes, it is.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Nobles and live and living color. Yes, as well as your empresses too. I didn't meet your empresses in person either. Especially I did business with your empress, so with Empress Motion, so I didn't see her in person too as well. Islam family.
Yeah, and the brother Noble Jerry is supposed to be out there with his empress as well. So
Islam.
we were talking yesterday, so I know he's already paid his dues and he's doing some things. So he's excited to for both of them to come out there and get a little bit of that, experience.
Absolutely, Nobles. Well, let's do our Moorish American prayer and let's get into it.
Yeah.
Allah. Go ahead. Universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Ashaya. Islam, peace, 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 peace.
Peace, brothers. Peace to everyone. Islam. So I don't know if y'all, I like to do subtopics and topics. I like to teach as well, because even though it's Sunday, but I want to get a little history as well. So, my camera kind of dirty. I don't know why my camera look like that, but oh well. Let me see. It's probably my hand touching it. There you go. Let me see. I guess that's as good as it's gonna get for now. It look kind of foggy, but oh well. Brian, you on our Temple and School page? You log on there for us, Noble?
Yes, sir.
Islam. Well, I don't know if all y'all got the document, because y'all should have. I want to talk just a little bit of law when I talk about nothing is new under the sun. And we don't want to get caught up with propaganda, no matter if it's so-called Eurocentric or Negrocentric, because a lie is a lie, no matter how you package it. Islam? And the truth will make you free. Remember all that. We're trying to keep things in truth. So when I wear this crown, this fez, this is not just a hat to me, man. This is not that turban that Malik have on, his she-mag. That's not just something we just put on like it's a baseball cap. When we place those things on our head, we're under a particular auspices. When Brother Alonzo put that Kufi AK bonnet on his head, he's symbolizing something and he's representing something. And we're supposed to walk and speak and love as nobles. This is just a reminder. Remember, the science is who's under the fez, which makes that fez holy. Because it can be a dunce hat if a Negro got it on. Think about this now. This is no slander. So do y'all have that document, the Exhibit 10 of the U.S. Supreme Court case, number 009587? It was National Security Council memorandum.
Yeah, memorandum 46.
Yeah. See, now when I talk about there's nothing new under the sun, and then we all got the Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering, a lot of this stuff is old. Like, this stuff is what they speak on. When I talk about Silicon Valley, when I talk about coming together, man, a lot of things are, it's playing out. It's like, how can I say? We know it's a movie.
Yeah.
And this was in 1978.
Yeah.
And so when I speak on topics, and when people, I say, well, history and law is synchronized. It's interconnected. So when you operate as a scholar, as a noble, it's some prereqs that everyone knows. You can't be out here operating on a belief system or someone you heard on the internet because it sound good. We dealing with truth. So in March 1978, this March 17th, I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to touch on it because I want us to study. And then when we come back for our adapt meetings, we ask questions. These is things that where I challenge us to study so we can start looking at things. I try to give you direction and then you go. That's what we practice on our own and we come back as a group. So the Presidential Review Memorandum to the Secretary of State, to the Secretary of Defense, the Director of Central Intelligence. Listen to this subject. Black Africa and the U.S. Black Movement. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
When I be telling people, now this 1978 now. I told you every movement, everything about us, everyone knows public information. When I tell Moors, I'm in the red state, Arizona. Everyone know who I am. They can look me up. That's why I tell Moors, when you're a real noble, when you're a real scholar, everyone will respect you. And you get way more respect from the ones that don't look like you than the ones that look like you. These is facts. I'm their teacher. I get paid to do this. And I come back and ask for donations to my people. And I'm like, oh, my people that I lost due to a lack of knowledge. Why? Because we refuse to learn. Why? Because we go spend all our money on things that mean nothing instead of giving something to the wisdom. That's the richest. That's what I tell us, Noah's. We so rich, we got land already. All we doing is developing our land to get away. That's what tribes do. When you look at ancient times, tribes had land. Each tribe had their own. The religious rights of the indigenous people, right? The religious rights of the indigenous people, where you have the right to not assimilate, where you have the right of your own land, you have the right to teach, you have the right. You have the right to have a tribal leader, legally and lawfully. Yes, we are Moors, but it's one nationality, many cultures, and we don't strip people from their culture. We're not stripping Maso from his background. No one can strip me from my background. No one can strip Malik from his background, but we Moors, and we understand that. The president has directed that a comprehensive review be made of current developments in the Black Africa from the point of view of their possible impacts on the Black movement in the United States. The review should consider long-term tendencies of social and political developments and the degree to which they are consistent with or contradict the U.S. interests. I hope y'all know this. When people be talking about they hide and this and that, yeah, everybody watching. So what? But it's a copyright law that you can speak on things. Research what I'm saying. I speak from truth to where I can't be stopped. Because I can prove what I'm saying legally and lawfully, and it'd be no rebuttal. You don't have to like my candor. You don't have to like my red vest. You don't have to like my Moorishly apparel, but who cares?
Chief,
Yes.
can I say that I think that's part of the issue that let me speak for myself. I don't want to right now that I've had to work through is feeling as though I had to prove stuff to other people, and always being ready for battle to prove stuff to other people instead of just focusing on making sure that I was comfortable with who I was.
I mean, and see, that's why I love these conversations, Barclay, when we speak. And a lot of times, silence is sometimes not good. When people say, silence is sometimes bad as well. Because when we silent, that means we're hiding something.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, the pendulum swing both ways. It must. Sometimes people stay silent of a fear and a lack of. That's not how. Go ahead, Malik, Barclay.
I would say that most people would probably agree with me that they get upset more if there's a lack of communication from their empress, right, regarding some issue, the silence, right, rather than them just saying this is what it is, right? Like it's the silence that'll get you.
Come on, Nova.
Say like, well, I don't like that. You don't put lotion on out of the shower when you get out. All right, you can live with that. But like if she don't never want to hug you or touch you, or like there's a silence there that's communicating something that's just not being said, and that's what bothers you more than her being straight up and saying you just need to put some lotion on when you get out the shower.
Come on, Noble.
You can handle that.
Come on, Noble. The communication.
Can I ask real quick? What was that? What was the doc number that you gave to that?
I didn't hear you, Noble.
The doc number that you gave to what you're reading?
The memorandum.
Yeah.
Powering off.
You said what was the name of it?
It's the National Security Council Memorandum 46. I think there was an email that went out.
46. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I have it. I was.
Yep.
Right. Got it.
You got it.
Ready.
And see, and remember, I operate on vibrations. That's why I tell, man, like in relationships, it's courting. So every relationship, say if you're dealing with a group of individuals, you deal with everybody according to that type of relationship. I must. I'm a real person. I'm a loving person. That's why I tell people, talk to me. Like if we brothers, we going on our second year, I gotta know my brother's pulse. I must, because you know mine. And that's what this is all about, man. So as we proceed, check this out. Okay, we talk about loan, which okay, proposal for durable contacts between radical African leaders and the leftist leaders of the U.S. black community. Appropriate steps to be taken inside and outside the country in order to inhibit any pressure by radical African leaders and organizations on the U.S. black community for the latter to exert influence on the policy of the administration toward Africa. But listen to these key words, because in paragraphs and in statements, it's key words. Radical. See, I hope people catching this. That's why I said I am a stickler of words, and no one can pull a wool over my eyes. Why? Because I've done this with the European and made them sit on their hands in academia. This is what I'm telling you. This is truth when I talk about I can rest my case and it would be no rebuttal. We're dealing with law.
So they're only talking about people who are radical Africans. They ain't pertaining to people who are honorable.
Come see, now watch this, and you 100% right. I'm finna give you a real life analogy. I'm not gonna say no names, but I'm gonna break it down when I say a lot of these cats going to jail. We talk about domestic terrorists, foreign and abroad. So anytime you make YouTube videos and you talking against the U.S. and you saying this and that other, you are a domestic terrorist, point blank. I don't give a shit if you call yourself a Moor, whatever. You on that watch list. I see it. I'm telling you facts. Anytime your goofy ass get on the internet and say anything about the United States Moorish, your ass on a watch list. I prove it. I done proved it. Anytime you get on the internet, if you are more, especially black Moors, because they got this thing, they got this watch list, you are considered a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
A domestic terrorist is right at home talking against the U.S. That's why I keep telling these goofies. They say they Moorish Americans, and then they say they some goofy ass foreign nationals. You lost.
And then in that same paragraph you just read, it said the influence on the policy of the administration towards. I'm sorry, before that it says the U.S. So I'm going to replace this word. Slave community of the latter. That's really what it should say, correct?
Yeah. Yes. We talk about black law. Here we go again. When we connect the science, the black Christian codes, all this stuff. Like, you have the right. What did the Declaration of Human Rights Article 15 state? See, I'm just defending the Constitution. That's all I'm doing. I'm defending the Constitution. When I say you have the right, what did the Declaration of Human Rights Article 15 state?
That's the one that you have the right to.
Yeah, right. I'll read it because I got it right.
Come on, Barclay, please. We in school.
I got it right here.
We in school.
Article 15, number 1, indigenous people have the right to the dignity and diversity of their cultures, tradition, histories, and aspirations, which shall be appropriately reflected in education and public information. Part 2, states shall take effective measures in consultation, cooperation with the indigenous peoples concerned to combat prejudice and eliminate discrimination and promote tolerance, understanding, and good relations among indigenous peoples and all other segments of society.
So when somebody come to you with that scare stuff, man, they not defending the Constitution. How can I graduate academia and move how I move if I'm doing something foreign? How? That's hogwash. The president has directed that the NSC, the Interdepartmental Group of Africa, perform this review. The review should be forwarded to the NSC Political Analysis Committee by April 20th. And you see who it was signed to, but then let me get down a little bit. The study response to presidential security review memorandum, NSC 46, Black Africa and the U.S. Black Movement. Objective of our policy toward Black Africa is to prevent social upheavals, which could radically change the political situation throughout the area. How can it change the political situation? Let me tell you, when you don't participate in the game. I tell people, Moors, this, I voted, what they say? Well, this what Moors say how they vote. Huh? They didn't vote none. They vote independent. I said, well, you still voting for something. Don't you know you can vote? You vote for policy, just like in Arizona when things on the ballot. Do you agree with it? Vote for policy. You don't have to vote Democrat, Republic, or nothing. You can vote your dog in. You have the right to flex your power to vote. That's number uno. If you don't have a dog in a race, why are you even dealing with it? Because we supposed to deal with politics. That's what? Nationality and spirituality. That's law. We're supposed to do things local to control our communities. These is keys. So this is what they're saying. To prevent the upheaval, which could radically change the political situation throughout the area. The success or failure of our policy in the region depends on the solution international. 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 When I tell Moorish, listen, you are the United States know you are Moor. That's the Constitution. I'm breaking down all these laws. SF 181, all these laws. International. That's the truth of the AA22 number. I'm telling you, when 30,000 Negro blacks, misnomer Mexicans, Latinos supposed to sign a petition and take it to the world courts, just like you vote people in office. If that ain't true, how you think the European became Indians, so-called $5 Indians? It's a petition. I just read Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. You got a right of a nationality and a right to change it. Didn't we just say that?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Okay.
And then that 30,000 under that, under the 30, having the 30,000, that means you have power together as
Politically.
Unity.
Yep.
To have unity.
Yes.
And you have a dog in the fight because, okay, you're not going to represent us. Well, I'm going to go to you. You're going to represent us. We need
Yep.
X, Y, and Z.
Yep. Yep. And that's what we do. We are a true body on paper. We a tribe.
That's
Legally
how you
and
make
lawfully.
Politics.
Come on.
Politics, though.
Come on. And these more, that's why I said they missing the scholarship aspect of it. They just radical. That's what I'm telling you. Them Negroes in trouble. I told you we don't affiliate with no radicals. I don't affiliate with no clown. I don't care if you hit me up, hey Sheik, I'm in Arizona. So I'm telling you, I got something from some clown this morning. Oh, this brother told me to hit you up. I've been in Arizona for 4 years and I've been kidnapped. Man, shut up with that goofy talk. Shut up with that goofy talk with your grown goofy ass. Down there 50 years old with that goofy stuff. Excuse my candor. While I'm out here on assignment, they send me under the Moorish American Consulate. You finna go to jail, clown. Damn Moorish American Consulate. That dumb mess. So, political. If Black Africa states assume attitudes hostile to the U.S. national interest, our policy toward the white regiments, which is a key element in our relations with the Black states, may be subjected by the latter to great pressure for fundamental change. Thus, the West may face a real danger of being deprived of access to the enormous raw material resources of South Africa, which are vital for our defense needs, as well as losing control over the Cape Sea routes, by which appropriately 65% of the Middle Eastern oil is supplied to Western Europe. Now, watch this. Remember when I showed y'all in one of Thomas Jefferson's Qurans? When I showed y'all how they would call them Corsicans, Berbers, and then all them different because they was patrolling their area, their land. And you remember I showed you they had to deal with them. They had to deal with those Moors. That was the travel route, and they try to call you pirates. I'm telling you history.
So they change you from being barbers to pirates.
And to niggas to draw you off your land, and then we accept that shit. And then you see all the Europeans in Europe wearing your Moorish heads like I got on.
So in this document we read, every time it says black and using black as a noun, right? We should be putting slave there because this is what it's pertaining to.
Come on, you dropping keys, Noble. You dropping keys. Come on.
But most people when they read this, they're not looking at black as a slave state of
If you are more, if you are more, you can't miss it. That's why we teach more science.
I understand. Maybe for some people who are in class right now, maybe not get it. So I don't want to say it.
Yeah, go ahead. No, speak on it, Noble.
So, and then even the whole African term, that's a whole continent. One person does not represent a whole continent. So in this example, who are they talking about exactly? African.
The same way when we break down that SF 181 form, when we ask Negroes and Moors what I'm gonna fill out, they gonna put I'm gonna make a box and put other. That ain't what we said. It's 3 of these things on here. So you done voided the whole fucking document, clown. We talk right?
Yeah. And when you read that first sentence in policy, it says if Black African states resume attitude hostile to the U.S. national interest.
Wordplay.
Basically, that's what you just said a second ago when they talking all that slander and goofiness. You are under the slave term.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
That's what it's saying. When you're under the slave term, we're going to cut off your whole supply.
Come on. Period. Because you must correct your thought process. You must. I'm telling you, a lot of people dealing with charlatans. This reading a whole bunch of old documents, and this is the Grand Supreme. Go ahead.
Or people who are correcting stance and not talking to them for the simple fact of the matter that this only applies to people who are in that mindset, that don't know they're in a mindset.
We call it mental slavery. Just putting on the feds means nothing. Means nothing. If you're not operating under an auspices, means nothing. And it should also be born in the mind that slaves, we're gonna replace black with slaves, slave Africa. Here we go, Black Africa, but it ain't one. Is a part of a continent. Here we go. Now they tell you some truth. It's a part of a continent where tribal and regional discord, economic backwardness, inadequate infrastructures, drought, and famine are constant features of the scene. But we know that's a lie. You see how they lie? They try to make you don't want to go there. They try to keep you from there. Go to Hawaii. Go here. But you don't want to go to your land where it's rich, huh? They want to show you on TV where Africa's all poor. And what was that? Discovery Channel already had to apologize how they was depicting Africa on TV. What was that, Dad? National Geographic. How they was depicting Africa all poor. They had to apologize.
The richest continent on the planet, dang.
Of course.
And the biggest.
That's why this masonry, when I talk about this Moorish science, this Kemetic science, no damn science didn't come from the East. The European came. All those Mason books, I have their autobiographies. They'll tell you that they came to Egypt and they only 32 and 33 degrees.
Something just clicked right now.
Go ahead.
So when I was in first grade, and they show you, they say, oh, when I was in first grade, so this is 1986. And I remember they had Persia on the map. But what they did say, even though they didn't represent it on the map, it said Africa was the biggest continent.
Yep. Now listen to this.
On the map. Let me just finish.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Noble.
That is associating, not without telling you, that Africa is all of this land.
Yeah. You in Africa.
We're in Northwest Africa right now. But they're not telling you this. But it's funny how this stuff stuck to me since grade school.
Yeah.
When they talking about Africa being the biggest continent, they wasn't lying. It's all the continents that are connected is still Africa.
Yep.
Or Maxim or Keeblon, whatever you want to call it. But
Yep.
it's still that one continent that just kind of got separated apart over time.
Before, like, remember that book I said, I've been trying to send it to y'all. I got it. There's some truth in it, but you have to uncover it. It's Barry Fell's American BC. And the European tells some truth a lot, but hey, it is what it is, you know? You have to dig through it. You have to dig through everything. You know? You have to dig through it. Like when I tell people, oh, this all trash. You ain't read through it enough to know if it's all trash or not. You ain't read it all to know.
You said America fell BC?
Yeah, Barry Fells. It's called American BC. I got it. I got a PDF. I'm gonna send it to y'all. I'll send it to y'all. A lot of stuff was changed. A lot of the words was changed. That's why I tell people, if you're not willing to do the work and really correct the science and what I call it, the linguistic apartheid, it's real work. So as we proceed, y'all, in conjunction with the artificial borders imposed by the former colonial powers, aka colonizers. You hear what they tell? They tell the truth. Imposed by the former colonial powers, guerrilla warfare in Rashida, and widespread indignation against apartheid in South Africa. I'm gonna jump down. Economic. Black Africa is increasingly becoming an outlet for U.S. exports and investment. The mineral resources of the area continue to be of great value for the normal functioning of the industry in the United States and allied countries. But you just said a minute ago how it was all deprived and all that. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, and just a second ago they said they got 65% of their oil from South Africa.
Come on.
And that their whole economy and everything would be damaged.
Come on.
If they cut off that relationship.
Come on.
Is it bad or is it healthy? Like,
Now watch this. It's a wordplay. It's a wordplay. Like when I used to have a temple out here, my metaphysical temple, and I had met some Moors, and I'm just gonna speak how I speak. I let them goofball Negroes come in there with all that spookism trash. We had a meeting one day. The goofball Negro gonna come in there, and I'm saying it like how I want to. Came in there, was like, with this spookism, talking about, plasma TVs they made out of blood. I spit my juice out everywhere. I made them Negroes get out my building. Asked my dad. I said, "What blood, fool?" He like, "Blood." I said, "You talking about coltan, idiot? One of the minerals that you need to for electricity for TVs and phones. You talk about coltan?" Everybody turned around, looked at the clown. I was like, "This y'all last day here." I'm telling you what I know. This is what these grown men be talking about. Spookism. And they drain your blood and they make plasma TVs. These grown men in their 50s.
He didn't understand that.
Man, no, I'm telling you, they promote trash. It's spookism. They're in there cut your phones off, cut your phones. I say, what y'all niggas on the run? Hide your phones, they listening. I say, well, I speak this on the corner with a bullhorn then. Call me the Black Hitler. If you remember the Black Hitler of Harlem, research the Black Hitler of Harlem.
Yeah. What is that, Solomon?
Research the Black Hitler of Harlem. I teach this on the corner with a bullhorn. Why? Because the European are going to agree with what I'm saying. He just talking law. And then with the science, they study this science. It ain't nothing but Kabbalah. So the movement, apart from the above mentioned factors, the adverse to the U.S. strategic interests, the nationalist liberation movement in the Black Africa can act as a catalyst with far-reaching effects on the American Black community by stimulating its organizational, you hear that? Consolidation, and by including radical actions. Such a result would be like as Zaire went the way of Angola and Mozambique. Mozambique, sorry, but it got a Z, so hell, I'm pronouncing it how I say it, but Mozambique.
Brown.
Yep. I'm gonna jump down some more, y'all, because I don't want to stay into this. I want to get to the main topic. The living conditions of the Black population should also be taken into account. Immense advances in the field are accompanied by a long-lasting high rate of unemployment, especially among the youth, and by poverty and dissatisfaction with governmental society of social welfare standards. Look what's happening today. Look what's happening. When I tell y'all, this stuff be programmed thousands of years or hundreds of years before you think, and then it's just start playing out like a movie. Man, listen, if I'm a soldier, I need an opposition. I'm a soldier. So if it ain't one, you're gonna create one.
You're right. But this part right here, Chick, that you get to, this is one of the keys. And when I was going over the document,
Go ahead and read, Noble.
where they pump the social and economics or programs, which would be social welfare and things of that nature. But what they do is now they start to segment that from the civics.
Yep.
Try to do those two to separate from the politics.
Yep.
So they can focus, if you can focus on the social unrest, economic plight. You ain't gonna be too much concerned about the politics. You're gonna try to get that money. You want to get that bag. You want to, everybody got to be living right. So that's how they segment it and compartmentalize it, so they won't, keep you busy.
Yep. Keep you out of the whole political agenda. And we are a nation of laws. See, this is what people don't understand. Everything we talking about is laws. We talk about constitutional law. So how you hate the law and you call yourself a babe?
And they used our women to keep us out the house so they can get that finance.
Look, man, it was programmed. Just like when women got on Section 8, the whole program was about the man can't be in the house. That was the whole program. In order for you to them women to get that, the man couldn't be in the house. This shit is programmed.
Right.
Come on.
That and welfare. They work simultaneously to get in.
Come on, they want us to work against each other. Just like with the white church, no disrespect, the European and Albion church. Oh, Jesus. Well, what about the man?
But this is why the woman is fallen humanity, right? This is why
Come on.
Noble said that they've gotta be the one that get saved, because we can do whatever we want to do. We should clean ourselves up, but if we don't get them,
Come on. Come on. We ain't gonna reproduce. They're gonna reproduce in a whole bunch of goofy Negroes. They're gonna be just looking for dudes that, ooh, he look good and he an airhead, a dummy, just a penis. I'm just keeping it 100. We're not gonna be reproducing no young empresses that understand the white feds with the gold tassel, and they don't understand that they are Mayat. Instead of joining some outside themselves, and our brothers be joining this masonry stuff without learning the science, and everything be a secret. And listen to what I'm saying. The FBI should mount surveillance operations against black African representatives and collect sensitive information on those, especially at the UN, who oppose U.S. policy. And now what the internet have done, what all these goofy Negro Moors have done, is made it simple. How? Because you're a willing obligor. How? On the internet. On the internet. On the internet. They tell you right on Instagram, you tell it exactly how you feel, and they got your goofy ass. Willing obligor. All the goofy stuff you see these grown men on the internet saying, the clown shit. You showing your hand. It's a database. I start showing people on there, and they on there smiling, looking goofy, and don't understand why you getting pulled over all the time. So, the trend in black movement, in connection with our African policy, it is highly important to evaluate correctly the present state of the so-called black movement in the United States and bashing ourselves on the available information to try a device, a course for its future development. Such an approach is strongly suggested by our perception. You know? You see how this go?
What section are you in?
We in 5. We in 5. We in 5. We in 5. The principal change are follows, nobles. Social, and I'm jumping down because I want to get to the main topic. The principal changes are as follows: social and economic issues. But before I even jump in there, don't y'all know this ain't nothing but Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering? I keep telling y'all there's nothing new under the sun. We have all this stuff. That's why, like, when you know what the enemy gonna do, they can't come around you. They walk around you. They part the sea. I'm telling you.
Anna here told you the truth about a section we skipped over. It says the black involvement in the lobbying to support the Arabs may lead to serious dissension between American black and Jews.
So now let's deal with the Jew part. Here go another wordplay. You are the Jew. You are the tribe of Judah. Yeah. You are the Igbo and the Igbo. And when you start dissing yourself, they like, yep, you must don't know who you are. So play that game. Because the European know that they are European Jew. They know it. I use their, all you got to do is come from scholarship. And when brothers to be dissing things, and I said, man, we come from scholarship. You don't have to be mad or angry. Use their books. And when I do lectures at the colleges, I just break down their Jewish encyclopedia, and they sit on their hands. You can't deny your stuff. When they talk about when the European or Albia Trilodite, whatever you want to call it, no disrespect, talk about to some anti-Semitic, I'll show you where it comes from. I did it on college. This is information. You come from scholarship. That's how you beat the beast. What beast? Any beast. I ain't talking about love, because if you don't understand what I'm saying, I might have to get down a different way. So, as we proceed, nobles, I don't want to stay too deep in that because I want to get into this Sunday. So I want to jump out of that. Please read that document, nobles. Please do some studying for our adapt classes, and these will be the conversations that we will talk about. Islam. So we're going to give a little, since it's Sunday, we're going to give a little word, and then we out of here. We get with our families and have a great day. But I like to give a little subtopic, and then I'll get right to it. Cancel. Hold on. Cancel. Get out of there. There we go. There we go. Bear with me, nobles. Somebody at the door? Hold on, nobles. Give me a second. Whoa. What y'all got? I'm gonna get my document set up, nobles, and we're gonna start. Shh. Y'all making too much noise, ladies. All right.
We are women and we are strong.
I done told you to be quiet. Y'all
And
crazy.
if I can say something about the media,
Go ahead, Noble. Go ahead.
you know, because I've been going over the drips as well. I just wanted to quickly read Article 16 of the drips, which I find interesting because it's a 7. You know, it says indigenous people have the right to establish our own media in their own language and have access to all forms of non-indigenous media without discrimination.
Say that again, Barclay, please.
It says indigenous peoples have the right to establish their own media in their own languages and to have access to all forms of non-indigenous media without discrimination.
So when people be saying they don't have access, and I always tell you, I said they lying. I show y'all all my affiliations. I'm transparent. I said y'all lying. I go right to the Philosophical Research Society. I bring all the information to y'all. I'm alumni for the universities. I go in there as a scholar. I bring the information back. Right? Okay. So everything these people saying it's a secret, they lying.
Y'all ain't even cover using our name just to have establishment.
Yes. So I'm gonna talk about in scripture when we talk about decree. Think about this. And can a man, can a woman, can an empress decree a thing and have it come to pass? Absolutely. Man, woman has always decreed that which has appeared in this world and is today decreeing that which is appearing in our world and shall continue to do so as long as man is conscious of being man, the M, the A, the N, the master, the able, the noble. Not one thing has ever appeared in man's world but what man decreed that it should. Remember, because everything starts with a thought, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, stay with me. This you may deny, but try, and as you will, you cannot disprove it. For this decreeing is based upon a changeless principle. And you do not command things to appear by your words or allow affirmations. See, when people be talking about, oh, they just saying stuff. Man, please, I want to make some money. How? It ain't focused on it. I want to be rich. Yeah, okay. You can't even say what you have. You just gonna spend it when you get it. Stop. Such vain repetition is more often than not confirmation of the opposite. Decreeing is ever done in consciousness. When people say, oh, I hope I get there, you already got to see yourself there. See, when we do this My PDF books and when we do our Moorish Haberdasher, see, I'm already successful. Why? Because these are already successful companies. My PDF books. See, Negroes will be posting books. Go to Amazon and get all them books. We got our own book page, My PDF books. And you can get books for a fraction of a dollar. That costs a lot of money. And then documents that you can't get, a lot of PDF books that Moorish hide. You can get them from us, mypdfbook.com, for a fraction of the price. You can get your fez and all your Moorish American regalia from moorishhaberdasher.com. So when Moorish be talking about success, we should be supporting each other. If not, we don't like success. I'm telling you. Because everything that we say we love, we provided a platform for that. You want to learn the science? Give donations to our temple and school. You want to get books and PDF books and everything and study? Here we go. mypdfbooks.com. The S is with a Z. Moorishhaberdasher.com. You can get your turban and your she-mag like Noble Malik got on. Get your fez like myself and others have. The dumb man. Oh, excuse me. That is, every man is conscious of being that which he or she decree himself to be. Follow me. Follow me. We talk about resurrection. Listen to this. The dumb man, without using words, is conscious of being dumb. Did y'all catch that?
Man is conscious without being dumb.
You damn right. Therefore, he or she is decreeing himself or herself to be dumb.
Right.
See?
Believe it.
Come on. See, when the biblical scriptures is read in the light, you will find it to be one of the greatest scientific books ever written. If you understand the metaphysics of the scriptures, if you understand the gnosis of the scriptures, if you understand the analogy, the parable, and the symbology, if you understand that God is made in the image of man, you will get the reverse part. Man is made in the image of the great God. You will get that. So instead of looking upon the Bible as this so-called historical record in this context, nobles, of an ancient civilization, or the biography of the unusual life of a so-called Jesus, which is never with a J in a Hebrew dialect, you will see it is a great psychological drama taking place in the consciousness of man. Understand this. When we broke down them so-called 12 disciples, what we break down, the 12 functioning of your brain.
Yeah.
We broke down that Christ. We broke down that blood trickling down the skull. That's that Christ within. You got to claim it as your own, and you will suddenly transform your world from the so-called the desert of the so-called Egypt to the promised land of Canaan. And everyone will agree with the statement that all things were made by the great God, the generator, the operator, destroyer. See, I don't get into the stupid stuff. If it's a creation, it must be a creator. It must. It must. And without that manifestation, there is nothing made. There is nothing made that's made. But what man does not agree upon is how can we call it? The identity of the God, because they don't know that we are gods. They don't know this. And all the churches and the so-called priesthoods of the world disagree as the identity and the true nature of the great generator, operator, destroyer. But we're not confused. And the biblical scriptures also testify beyond the shadow of a doubt that the so-called Moses and the prophets were in 100% accord as to the identity and nature of the God within. And the so-called Jesus life and teachings are in agreement with the findings of the prophets of old. You got to know this, because if it's not, what did our Moorish Quran says in the introduction, the 18 missing years of Jesus, with all the teachers all over the Mediterranean. See, and when these Moors operate like this, you know they ain't studied their Quran. You know they haven't. You know it. And they can't, Noble Alonzo. When you hear a Moor come with anger, and I said, you cannot read your Quran, because if you read that Quran, you will have peace, and you will understand its synchronicity. You will understand it.
These teachers are for all those who love you.
Come on. Come on, Alonzo.
He opened it up with it.
Huh?
Islam.
And then you get these Moors or talking about Marcus Garvey, or he's gonna come with the back to Africa. I said, fool, Marcus Garvey is the harbinger. He's the John the Baptist. He's the forerunner that gave you a goofy ass ideal of having your own land, having your own flag. Gave you the idea. He was the forerunner, the harbinger. He prepared the table for someone better to come after him. Huh?
Islam.
What are we tripping on? And in the biblical scriptures, it says Moses discovered God to be man's awareness of being when he declared these little understand words when they say, I am, have sent me unto you. We understand. We know all that, all those sayings. We know that. The awareness of being as God is stated hundreds of times in the New Testament. And to name but a few, I am the shepherd. I am the door. I am the resurrection, the life, the way. I am the Alpha, the Omega. I am the beginning, the end. And again, come on, man. Is it not stated that I, so-called Jesus, as the door? I, so-called Jesus, as the way? Huh? Whom do you say that? I, so-called Jesus, am. And it clearly state, I am the way. The awareness of being is the door. The awareness of being is the door. The awareness of being is the door through which the manifestations of life pass into the world of what? Form. Consciousness. Consciousness is the resurrection. That power. Resurrecting that which man is conscious of being. Man is ever out picturing that which he or she is conscious of being. And this is the truth that makes man free. For man is always self-imprisoned or self-fear. Just what Noble Barclay was talking about.
I self-law and master.
No. Can we take a moment and analyze that word?
Yes.
And think about even I use myself for example. At one point in time, I used the terminology as I'm a conscious person, and when we think about those in a term of being, I guess, socially conscious or things of that nature, what we're talking about right now is a different level of consciousness. This is not where people go around small. I'm part of the conscious community. No. This level of consciousness, the consciousness of being,
Come on.
supersedes that.
Come on. We don't have to say that. I said we ain't a part of no groups. We are who we are. We got our own group. We ain't no conscious community. Not this. If you want to put a title, we're the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. That's what this is. And if the student will give up all of their former beliefs or belies in the so-called God apart from yourself and claim God as your awareness of being, just as the so-called Jesus and the so-called prophets did, because the God works through man. I ain't talking about no color. You would transform your world with the realization that I am my Father and my Father are one. And this statement, Moors, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I, seems very confusing to the lower self. But if interpreted in the light of what we have just said concerning the identity of God, if that aha moment comes, if that light bulb moment comes up, you will find it very revealing. We talk about consciousness being the God is as the Father. Think about this. The thing that you are conscious of being is the Son, bearing witness of his Father. It is like the conceiver and its conceptions. The conceiver is ever greater than his or her conceptions, yet ever remains one with his or her conception. I'll give you an analogy, or for instance, or I'll give you a pictorial, nobles. Before you are conscious of being man, of being woman, you are first conscious of what? Being. Can we agree to that? Islam. Then you become conscious of what? Being man or being woman. Yet you remain as conceiver, greater than your conception. Man, stay with me, nobles. Stay with me. The so-called Jesus discovered this glorious truth and declared himself to be one with the great God when he raised himself up. Every time when you raise yourself up, they give you a pictorial. You go into a higher mount. Not a God that man had fashioned, for he never recognized such a God. He said, if any man should ever come saying, look here or look there, believe them not. For the kingdom of God is where, nobles? That's what the scriptures. I don't know what nobody talk about. What they lie. I told y'all they lying on the teachers. Heaven is within you. Heaven is within you. You're lying. Oh, I'm finna die and I go. You lying. Ain't nobody died and went to hell or heaven. You a lie. And the truth ain't in you. You a lie. And therefore, when it is recorded that he went unto his Father, it is telling you that he rose in consciousness to the point where he was just conscious of being. When you come to that elevated state, I'm not man, I'm no woman, man, I'm light. And light give light to understanding. That I'm male nor female. We're talking about the bafflement. I'm Kabbalistically speaking to y'all today. The limitations of his present conception of himself, called what? The Jesus, aka the Justus within. And then the awareness of being all things are possible. The text testify. You shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. You shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. You shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. This is decreeing. This is the rising in consciousness to the naturalness of being, the thing desired. When I said you already got to know you're successful because you're doing successful things. That's why I said it's contingent of the people. That's why I said when these multi-millions come in, I'm not going to be surprised. I already know what's going to happen. I'm already a millionaire mentally. It's already there. It's just going to be confirmation, and we gone. We, all of us, we gone. Period. And he expressed it. And I, if I be lifted up, I shall draw all men unto me. So I got to be lifted up for y'all to be around me. Y'all grown men. I hope y'all, I ain't nothing but a map, a guide, a vessel. How can I be some clown and I got grown men with me with families? We ain't playing no game.
But we understand who we are.
Come on, Noble. We understand it. I understand the map and the guide. I understand discipline. I understand brotherhood. I understand initiation. Our teachings talk about this.
Islam.
This fast don't make me no scholar or no sheik. I don't need this fast. I don't need no garments. And everywhere I go, I'm a sheik, a scholar, everywhere. Because I exhume it. I just like the splendor. And if I be lifted up, I shall draw all men unto me. What men? All men to me. If I be lifted up. So if I'm lifted up in Allah, then I shall draw all men unto me. If I be lifted up in consciousness to the naturalness of the thing desired, I will draw the manifestation of that desire unto me. For the writer states, no man comes unto me, save the Father within me draws him. And I and my Father are one, nobles. Therefore, consciousness is the Father that is drawing manifestation of life unto you and me. See? And you are, at this very moment, nobles, drawing into your world that which you are now conscious of being, because the writer and the teaching says, when two or more gather, there I am. Consciousness is being poured out. That's the Holy Spirit. Wisdom, understanding, revelation. Now you can see what is meant by you must be born again, nobles. I ain't saying a part of you gotta die. I'm saying you must be born again.
Resurrected.
Come on, noble. Come on.
Judas quality. That's the Judas quality.
Yes, sir. And if you are dissatisfied with your present expression of life, the only way to change it is to take your attention away from that which seems so real to you and rise in consciousness to that which you desire to be. You cannot serve two masters. Therefore, to take your attention from one state of consciousness and place it upon another is to so-called die to one and life to the other. Islam, we almost done. Talk to me.
Islam.
So, nobles, the question, whom do you say that I am, is not addressed to a man called Peter in the scriptures by one called Jesus in the scriptures, nobles. This is the eternal question addressed to oneself by one's true being. So what I'm saying, nobles, in other words, whom do you say that you are? When I say, who sent your punk ass? Excuse my candor. I'm going to speak how I want to speak. Who sent you? See, I smell it like drunks. See, when Moors come around with all that regalia, who sent you? Allah didn't send you. I'm going to turn you right around because I know what you coming with. Hey, Sheik, I'm trying to get this paper. I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing. So, who you say you are, for your conviction of yourself, your opinion of yourself will determine your expression in life. For your conviction of yourself, your opinion of yourself will determine your expression in life. All you got to do is see how Moors operating. You be like, oh, I see how they operating. We see what they doing, and you stay away from it. Also, the writer states, you believe in God, believe also in me. In other words, it is the same me within you that is God. So praying then is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire, rather than accepting form of petitioning a God that does not exist for that which you now desire. Because you looking within. You said, I don't believe in this sky God. That Al-Islam, you come with that Al-Islam crap too. I ain't hating on you, but I'm a Moor. This ain't orthodox. I do things the Moorish way. If you get on your knees 5 times, you can't say that's law. That's your tradition. Period. Because if it was law, it'd be in your teachings. So can't you see why the millions of prayers are unanswered? Men pray to a God that does not exist. I'll give you an analogy, nobles. To be conscious of being poor and to pray to God for riches is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, which is what? Poverty. Think about it. Prayers to be successful must be claiming rather than begging. So if you would pray for riches, turn from your picture of poverty by denying the very evidence of your senses and assume the nature of being wealthy. And the first thing wealthy people do is they don't waste money on crap. If they spend their money on things that they believe in. They spend their money on tribal things. If they are part of some Jewish culture, they represent their culture. If they are Moor and the Moor have the Moorish haberdasher page, that's where they buy all their items from. If they organization have a mypdfbooks.com, that's what they support. They make someone rich and then they take over. We say we like success. I ain't out here selling no snake oil. I ain't out here doing that. Everybody say they love to read mypdfbooks.com. Every Moor should be on there buying shit all day. I'm just saying, if we love it, the very moment my claim is established to the point of conviction, that moment I begin to draw unto myself the evidence of my claim. I tell y'all more when we talk about practice. Yes. How you gonna get good at something?
Gotta practice.
Do not question the how of these things appearing. When people are like, well, how I do that, man? Don't ask me how. Just do. Jump on the damn bus and ride, and you will see. And you will be able to answer the questions for yourself. But you're looking on the outside instead of getting in with us. Because when you get in, you're going to see. When you get in, you might be afraid of the shoes we wear. You think it would look all good because we all dressed up. But when you put on Malik shoes, that shit might scare you. So do not question the how of these things appearing. For no man knows that way. This is no manifestation knows how the things desired will appear, Moors. Consciousness is the way or the door through which things appear. The writer says, I am the way. Not I, John Smith, am the way, but I am. The awareness of being is the way through which the things shall come, nobles. The signs always follow. They never precede. Things have no reality other than in consciousness, nobles. Therefore, get the consciousness first, and the thing is compelled to appear. That's why what Pac said, I got to get my mind right first. Now I got my mind right. Then Pac said, now I got my money right. Then what Pac said, now I'm ready for war. Because if your mind ain't right before you get that paper, you just going to blow it. You asking for some money. You hit the lotto, you get 70 million. In 6 months, you broke as hell. You are told, seek ye first. You are told, seek ye first. You are told, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you. In more signs, we say nationality and spirituality. It's the same thing. And what? The divine comes first. The divine comes first. The divine comes first. The divine comes first. I said the same thing, but different synonyms. You are told, Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you. Get first the consciousness of the things that you are seeking and leave the things alone. Because you don't got to be smart to get on the corner and hustle. You just got to have some balls. I know Negroes in my city that didn't know how to count. They just put that in a money machine. Yep, that's 10 bands. Boop. They weigh it. Oh, yep, that's 10 bands. Boop. He just had some balls to get on the block. Didn't know shit. And this is what is meant by ye shall decree, nobles, a thing, and it shall come to pass. This is what is meant by ye shall decree a thing, nobles, and it shall come to pass. We almost there. So you must apply this principle, nobles, and you will know that it is to prove me and see. The so-called story of Mary is the story of every man in this context. Mary was not a woman giving birth in some miraculous way to one called Jesus. In this context, metaphysically, when we speaking of wisdom, Mary is the awareness of being that ever remains virgin. Stay with me. Stay with me. No, come on. No matter how many desires it gives birth to. And right now, Moors, look upon yourself as this so-called Virgin Mary being impregnated by yourself through the medium of desire, becoming one with your desire to the point of what? Embodying or giving birth to your desire. We're talking about making things real. Huh? For instance, nobles, in the writer saith, in the biblical Bible, in the Christian Bible, it is called of Mary, whom you know, or excuse me, whom you now know to be yourself, that she knows not a man. And remember, everything that's pertaining to wisdom, they make it in a woman named Sophia. I hope y'all know this, right? I'll show you that in Apocrypha, all that. People be placing these on regular people. I said, no, that's the wisdom. If you with me in this context, if you in the context with me, if you rocking in the context with me, you like, yes.
The woman is wisdom.
Come on. Yet she conceived. And that is you. Noble Malik, Barclay, Alonzo, me. And we have no reason to believe that which you now desire is possible. But having discovered your awareness of being God, you make this awareness your husband and conceive a man-child. What we call a man-child? Manifestation. I'm ciphering to y'all, man. We in heaven right now.
Can you read that last sentence? It says the wisdom and make the man your husband.
I said, having no reason to believe that which you now desire is possible, but having discovered your awareness of being God, you make this awareness your husband and conceive a man-child. The man-child is the manifestation of the Lord. For thy maker is thy husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. The Lord God of the whole earth shall he be called. Your idea or ambition is this conception, nobles. The first command to her, which is now to yourself, is go. Tell no man. That is, do not discuss your ambitions or your desires with another, for the other will only echo your present fears. Secrecy is the first law to be observed in realizing your desire. Second, as we are told in the story of Mary, is to what? Magnify the Lord. Magnify. Put a magnifying glass on it. Look at it real good.
I mean, dig from within.
Come on, Noble. Come on.
It's long.
We have identified the Lord as your awareness of consciousness, of being. Therefore, to magnify the Lord per se is to what? Revalue or expand one's present conceptions of oneness to the point where this revelation becomes natural.
when you start pulling it out, you're gonna shine. Your bright was real dim, but then when you start pulling it out from within, boy, that mug starts showing up.
Real talk, Noble.
You got that glow.
Hey, and see, now watch, my Noble be speaking, so just like on Last Dragon. See, Bruce Leroy, he was the first one to get the Super Saiyan. Not no cartoon. Goku got that from you. See, everything they steal from us. Everything. All cartoons is stolen. All cartoons stolen. Bruce Leroy was the first one to go Super Saiyan. Huh? Please. Stop playing with me. They only got to take some foreign object to magnify that DMT, that spirit molecule. But it's inside. In our Exhumed of the Nation, I taught it so many times. It's our ajana. And when this naturalness is attained, you give birth by becoming that which you are one with in consciousness. What time is it? Oh, I got 10 more minutes and we done. So the story of creation is given us in Digest Moors, the form in the first chapter of John. In the beginning was the Word. Now this very second is the beginning spoken of, nobles. It is the beginning of an urge, a desire. The word is a desire swimming around in your consciousness, seeking embodiment. The urge of itself has no reality, for I am, or the awareness of being, is the only reality, Moors. Things live only as long as I am aware of being them. So to realize one's desires, nobles, the second line of this first verse of John must be applied. That is, and the Word was with God. The word or desire must be fixed or united with consciousness to give it reality, nobles. And the awareness becomes aware. The awareness becomes aware of being the thing desired, thereby, nobles, nailing itself upon the form of conception and giving life unto its conception, or resurrecting that which was heretofore a dead or unfulfilled desire. Two shall agree as touching anything, and it shall be established on earth, nobles. See, this agreement is never made between two persons, Moors. It's between the awareness and the things desired. You are now conscious of being. So you are actually saying to yourself, without using words, that I am. I am. Now, if it is a state of health that you are desirous of attaining, before you have any evidence of health in your world, you begin to feel yourself to be healthy. And the very second the feeling, I am healthy, it attained, the two have agreed. This is I am and health have agreed to be one. And this agreement ever results in the birth of a child, which is the thing agreed upon when two or more gather. In this case, we're talking about health, Moors. And because I made the agreement, I express the thing agreed. Stay with me. So you can see why Moses stated in the biblical scriptures, I am has sent me. For what being other than I am could send you into expression? None. For I am the way. Besides me, there is no other. And if you take the wings of the morning and fly in the uttermost parts of the world, or if you make your bed in hell, nobles, you will still be aware of being. You are ever sent into expression by your awareness, and your expression is ever that which you are aware of being. And I'll stop. Any questions?
Man, it's just really focusing on yourself. People and everything.
He's on fire today.
Outward.
That's what more science is about. It's a synchronicity. We so worried about somebody else telling somebody how to live, and we ain't right. You point at somebody else and you looking at the toothpick in their eye, you got a stupid ass log in your eye. Here it is, I got two big ass log in my eyes, and I'm worried about a toothpick in somebody's eye. Huh? I gotta fix myself. I got two logs in my eyes. I can't see shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
You know, it's kind of like the people who do that, even the help is in them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sometimes that help could be that we're supposed to help other people, most definitely. But sometimes that help overshines what you got to correct in yourself.
My dad used to tell me, Malik, how you gonna help others if you can't help yourself? You got to be
Right.
healed for people can see healing, so they can know what healing is about. And as they start to heal, they be like, it ain't nothing outside of me that can heal me. Everything that's healing me is me. That's what when you go to Alcohol Anonymous and when I do mentoring and stuff, I don't correct you. I give you the tools to correct yourself. That's what I learned when I did in behavioral health therapy. I say I'm not correcting these childs. I'm showing them how to correct themselves. I'm showing them to know to check themselves and to know to know how can I call it those pressure moments. I see things. You on mute, Noble?
I just looked up something. You know that movie, The Last Dragon, that we referred to in the class just now. It was created in 1985, but when you add the value of that up, it's 23, which is on the five principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Come on, Noble. Come on. Numbers don't lie. That's what I tell you. Everybody get rid of everything that you think you know when you're dealing with me, except mathematics, because we're gonna be mathematically correct on everything. We're gonna be legally correct on everything. Well, only people that's gonna not like us is Negroes. I promise you. That's gonna be the only problem that you're gonna have with is goofball Negroes. Excuse my candor. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm in Arizona. I have no problem with no one else. Me and my family just went to dinner yesterday. They treated us like kings. The damn waitress after they were like, "Oh, are y'all coming back? I'm excited." Came up to us. My mom and right here was like, "Whoa, like I'm just like a Moor." They must.
Y'all exude success.
They told us we exude success. This is what they told us yesterday. Y'all exude success. The little European Albia girl came back to us twice. Dude came up to me was like, "Oh my God, you on fire." I'm crazy. I'm looking at myself like, "Am I burning?" He like, "No." He just like, "You just illuminating." Honor. I don't go. I'm a pleasure to be around. I'm only hard on goofballs. I'm not gonna be around no goofy Moors. I'm not.
Can I say this real quick, Sheik?
Yes,
I
sir.
think, and I can only speak for myself, but I would imagine this applies for everybody on here. And you've said this multiple times. I think, if you don't grow up in an environment, like Sheik did, right, where he had mom, dad, not just in the science, but they were his biggest cheerleaders. You mean at every stage of his journey, right?
Yep.
A lot of us can't say that. We don't have, our closest people, which is our mother or father or whoever that person is, who has been your biggest cheerleader at every stage of this process. And what that does is it puts you in a mind frame where you really don't understand, one, that you have superpowers,
Yes.
and two, that it's okay to activate it and express
Yes.
those superpowers.
Yes.
That's really the benefit of moving away. It's one of Sheik's famous,
Yep.
Statements that a prophet is never recognized in his own home. He's got to go away. I mean, I don't have to say it again. You heard it 70 times. We heard it a lot, right? So
Yes.
that's what that is about, is that maybe for some of us, and I'm not saying what anybody has to do, but what you really, really got to look at is if the environment you're in, I mean, everything about it. I'm not pointing fingers at nothing, but just if it really is cultivating and is supporting you towards being what you're trying to be. And I'm not saying like it's not standing in your way. Like there's a difference with not standing in your way and supporting. You guys understand what I'm saying? There's people who could be not standing in your way, but they're not really supporting you, right?
Islam.
I'm talking about truly supporting your growth. This is part of where stepping away sometimes allows you to be able to be like, yeah, I'm not crazy. I've been dope since day one.
Yes.
But this environment that
Yes.
I'm around, they don't tell me that every
Yes.
day. So I don't really understand that, really like that. But when I go away and I'm in different environments, they tell me how dope I am. It's a daily reminder of, yes, I am dope. But a lot of us are in environments, I'm talking about city, state, just the whole situation that really doesn't cultivate you understanding you are gifted and you are dope. And that's something I think that we all have to keep looking at to figure out. Because you can't keep bumping your head up against a wall, and expecting the wall to move. You got to think about that.
Man, gratitude and Noble. That's so prophetic. And yes, like a prophet is no good in his own country. And once you go and people see you afar, like I'm in a red state, I'm in Arizona. I've gotten when I lecture in colleges and the love that I get when I go places, I had to leave home to do that. And now they want me to come back full circle. I'm okay with that because I found the joy. Because just like Barclay said, my parents always told me from like you ain't operating in your higher manifestation. That's why my name is my name. They named me Kari Hakeem, my little brother Akil Jelani. They named us from birth to be this. But when you're around certain things, sometimes you do little yourself because your light shines so bright and you're around certain people, you just want to fit in. I tell people, I always tell my story because my story is beautiful. My mom, my dad was my biggest supporter. It's certain things that happened in my life where I strayed away. When I met my brother and I was introduced to the game, to the street life, to certain things that I shouldn't be doing, I liked it that. Come on, here the young man around his brother. I liked it that, like they say. It's like, this is my brother. He's allowing me to do this. My dad is training me a certain way, so I'm trying to play both worlds. You see what I'm saying? I'm playing both worlds. I'm both worlds. I'm totally athletic ability. Man, they wanted me to play varsity when I was in the 7th grade. The coach coming over my house, but I was attracted to that. And so when I tell people that, you always come back full circle. And that's what Barclay is saying. Now, my parents always corrected me. Even in my mishaps, they was there. Because I had a lot of mishaps, but my parents was there to keep me strong. And where I'm at now as adults, that's why I say, man, I'm gonna always tell my story. And I'm gonna always be transparent. Always. We Moors now, like we're adults. And so the
I
life,
just wanted to say that as encouragement to everybody.
yes,
Because I'm speaking for myself. I have a mom and dad who loves me, but they ain't been, my biggest cheerleader every step of this journey. They just haven't. There's things that I've done. I ain't a part of the church like my mom and dad. Like I just know. I can feel it in their heart. There's aspects of me that didn't follow that path. And that hurts them. Instead of seeing all the greatness.
right.
So I'm saying that to all of us, right? Our job is figure it out. We got to put ourselves in the best position so that we can be as successful as possible. I think we've got to also include our environment as part of that. And looking at whether it's helping us or not really hurting us, but it's not necessarily pushing you, in the direction that you want to go. And it's dicey. I get it. Islam.
Islam, nobles. Islam.
I'm
What you say, Malik?
doing my alphabet, my numbers right now while we talk. And I'm just going over this again, 1 through 9. 9 is I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just going
9 is I. I'll break it.
everything out of
Malik, don't go. You going in next week's teaching. Slow down, Noble. Slow down. You're going in next week's teaching. Save them some, Malik, because that's what a cipher does. See now, Malik, you build it. Absolutely. Say I was gonna go. Man, Islam. Then when we say when 2 or more gathered, there I am, the Holy Spirit. Absolutely. 9 I.
I had to say that.
Yes.
That's
Gratitude,
I
man.
wrote it down too because you had said the divine comes first,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Then it says seek ye first. So when you get that 9 and this I, you are divine from within. You just gotta pull it out, let it exude. Exuding of the nation, exude oneself, shed light.
That's what we're doing.
Light, you love.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say.
Man, but that's the truth, Malik. We don't be out in the world. And I tell Morris, when I'm out, I'm not talking about Morris. I hope nobody may not walk up to me and think we finna have some conversation and I'm gonna shake your hand. I'm with my wife. You can say nice fairs, all that. I am not finna sit there and have no conversation with you. I'm not. I'm just light and I'm just passing through. You want to learn some teaching, come to class. If not, you're not going to catch me on the street trying to have no conversation. I'm going to walk past like the wind. And you're going to be like, man, now, yeah, I saw Sheik and Baby. Yup. He just a regular dude. Yes. So I love y'all, man. And great teaching, man. Let's keep pushing our My PDF books. The S is with a Z. Let's keep pushing our MorrisHaberdasherNobles.com. And I promise y'all, Nobles, it's just a matter of time. We're doing rich things. It's just a matter of time. That's why we got to keep going and keep going. This is ours. And this stuff gonna be on automatic pilot in a minute. I promise y'all. It's gonna be on automatic pilot in a minute because it's supposed to, because we are providing things that we say we need. More say they like to study and they can't get Exhume Another Nation because it costs $250 on Amazon. Go on mypdfbooks.com right now and get the whole PDF. Go get it.
Yep.
You say Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering costs too much on Amazon because it's 4 bands. Go on mypdfbooksrightnow.com and get it. The PDF and go print it off Office Max and Staples. You say Judah Trembles Under Rome is too much. It's $900 on Amazon. Go to mypdfbooks.com and download the book. Huh? The whole book, not no half. I read every book that's on there. And I can show you books that you would buy from Amazon, and I can tell you what pages took out. Just right now, Bertram Thomas, I can tell you page 293 is took out on Amazon. Guaranteed. How I know? Because I read them all. I got the originals. When you look at books, you will see reprints. They don't have the originals. They're just like the Jehovah Witness book. My mom and my dad here. The Jehovah Witness now, they don't have the original. My neighbors used to be Jehovah Witnesses. They was talking one day, so I went over there. We friends. I said, wait a minute, I'm going to go get y'all a book. Came back, blew their mind. They kicked me out the house. My mom and them right here, but not in a bad way. We neighbors. They're like, boy, you got to go. They're like, you got to go. They're like, I said, see, what y'all talk about? Because what y'all saying ain't in y'all book.
Why it's not in there?
it agrees to what I'm saying, the YHWH, and why the name was perverse. It's the same thing I'm saying. It's right in their preface.
It's in there like ragu.
It's right in their preface. So I know we don't read and we don't study and we don't do things collectively. They still don't even know how the dang old pyramids was put together because they don't understand that mind. That when we come together, like Barclay said, we can do amazing things. We just have to come to the realization when it's our environment is the best for us. And like Noble Barclay said, we ain't just talking about a husband and wife thing. We talk about in general. In general, if the environment is not right, what if the love is not there? If the people you're dealing with, you got to check yourself. And if it's not right, do everything in your power to change it. If it's being all together, everybody out here around us in Arizona, well, that's what we got to do. Because then it changes. That's why every night, man, when people be talking about praying for a reason, I'll be praying for Barclay and Malik, like if they hurry up to get their more self out here. I'll be like, I hope it happens sooner than later. And it be focused. And it be focused. I'll be focused on it, like putting the eyes on it. Because I know when we come together, it's one of the twin powers activate. It's over. We're going to eat together. We're going to work out together. We're going to entertain. Everything we're going to do is going to be together. You're going to be able to see it. It's going to be so powerful. When they see us together all the time doing family stuff, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing when Barclay and the Empress say, oh, man, they might be busy. And they can call hey, can you go pick up Bailey? Yep.
I know she'll probably be absolutely.
You know, we talk about the base. We talk about a village, man, a tribe. And it's beautiful that Allah brought us all together from all. Look at the power, though, nobles. We from all different area codes. Met on the internet, met on this media, which we said we have the right. This is dope. Just imagine we was all around each other at a building and people seeing us on the scene, just 7 of us together with our wives. That's powerful. That's like the story of Gideon. Our strategy, when you look at us, you're like, whoa, because they synchronized. They all looking together. It looked like 1 million people. It's only 10 of us with our empresses. Man, I saw hundreds of them, but it's only 10 of us. That's what they say. Man, there was 100 of them in Vegas last year. This is what they said. Man, there was 100 of them out there in Moorish. It was only, 20 of us? But the people say the hundreds. The Moors was in Vegas last year. It was hundreds of them. Man, it was just 10 of us.
Look, Malik saw. We went to the music concert, and it's just me and my empress, and Malik is his empress.
No, when you say music, that's why I know what you was talking about.
Yeah.
We call it music over here. Y'all call it music?
Yeah, I used to say music, but music. We went to that concert. That's what them pictures was over the summer.
Right.
We went to that concert, and you would have. Malik can tell you, right? How many people were stopping us, touching us on the shoulder, like, man, who are y'all, and where y'all from, and people who knew us, they've grown up with us, right? But they ain't really seen us in a while. They was like, man, can I? You know what I mean? Like, can I take that style? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, they were just, and that's what that night was about. Like, it almost wasn't even about music. It was so many people coming up to us, wanting to talk to us and touch us. And we in the liquor store. I mean, everywhere. It was like, what y'all do? Like you said, it's just, those those things are powerful.
Yes.
And I only keep trying to share with everybody to say, just find your space, find your rhythm. I get that it's hard. I get that there's a lot going on. I'm telling you, don't fight the current. Your spirit may be trying to say it's time for a change in whatever way that is.